Go.
And we are live with our AL Power Rankings version. Just a quick update for those in the BBL. The reason this was delayed, for some of you who may not know, my son was actually this morning supposed to have his circumcision. He got sick with a ear infection and stuff like that, like little 1-year-old boys do. So we had to push that back. So that did not happen this morning. So that's why this was kind of put last second that we were doing this, and that's why the schedule was up in the air for us doing that. So now that I got
Well,
that,
I had my circumcision yesterday, so
all
we
right.
couldn't do it. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that's a semi-pro move, Alan. You did it in March, but you're supposed to do it first weekend of March Madness.
Right.
You
For the
know, that's
vasectomy, right? That's like
yes,
the
yes,
record
yes.
vasectomy time. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that way you can just sit on the couch and well, you know, watch that and
ice my marbles and
Yeah,
watch some college basketball. Yeah.
yeah. Well, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Last time we went 15-1. We used Alan's spreadsheet, and then I kind of chimed in with my own. Again, we have no idea what each other's power rankings are. Like last time, we saw that big surprise with the Reds. We might have a surprise this time too. Who knows?
Who
So,
knows? So
um,
speaking before we get into this,
oh
since you
yeah, yeah,
mentioned them,
yeah.
I do want to bring up the Reds because we talked about how much of a house of cards they might have been. How they were one of the more interesting teams, you know, really powerful up top and kind of weak on the depth. And he's made a bunch of trades since then. But we see just today the Reds traded away Jose Ramirez and lost Hunter Green, both on the same day. So now we don't know what's wrong with Green. He's having an MRI. He throws super hard. You can almost guarantee he's not now going to be ready for the start of the season. Mm-hmm. So just kind of shows it's just one. He loses J-Ram. He did bring in like Pete Crow and there was another bat there as well. But you're trading away Jose Ramirez. Like you're trading away a bona fide superstar, and lost Green, at least for some amount of time, probably due to injury. So it's just kind of like a double blow for a team that was already, you know, looked really good, but looked really fragile at the same time. So we'll see how he bounces back from potentially missing Hunter Green. So it's just a little bit of interesting for the Reds. I thought of that it kind of happened in the same day that he traded away a superstar and lost a star pitcher in the same morning. So yeah, that's tough.
Well, and then add on to that real quick. We said this when we were backstage. Since you have done your power rankings, because you did them, I did mine like late last night, early this morning, and you did yours 18 trades ago. I don't know the exact date, but there's been 18 trades.
Yeah, 18 trades involving an American League team since I did my AL and NL at the same time. We weren't sure that we were going to knock them out in the same day or not, and then we didn't. And so it's been I think exactly a week later now since I did my AL. So several of these rosters have changed, some of them quite a bit. I know Cleveland, of those 18 trades involving AL teams, Cleveland has made 7 of them. So his roster looks quite a bit different than it did when I actually did these rankings. And I typed it all out in the thing. Like, yeah, I could change this all up and do them, you know, live or whatever, but I don't want to waste all the time I already put into doing the grades and making the slideshow and all that shit. So we'll do like we did last week and take a look at the rosters as they are now, but keep in mind that my grades and rankings are not necessarily as they look now. They're as they looked a week ago when I did them. So something to keep in mind with the usual disclaimers, yada, yada, nothing, none of this is personal. This is all just me and Tony's opinions. And we're just 2 guys that play fantasy baseball. So with the bona fides out of the way, let's go ahead and check out number 15. Yeah, Boston Red Sox. hitting 40, pitching 40, depth 35. They are actually a pretty interesting team to look at. They're kind of a team that they kind of look like a team that you might like draft in a video game or something like that, because it's not that they have holes, maybe like the Braves did in the NL that grabbed the 15 spot, but it's a lot of guys that we just have no idea what you're actually going to get from them from a full season. There's a lot of young guys here that have very little MLB experience, and also a lot of injury risk here. So you're looking at Harry Ford, Eldridge, Lawler, Cam Smith, Brady House, all with limited MLB experience and looked varying degrees of like big leaguers, when they did have the big league experience. So I don't like, if say all these guys click and they all have, a great year, they all prove their prospect pedigree. Jordan stays healthy. O'Neill Cruz, figures out lefties a little bit and has some consistency. This could be a fantastic lineup. It still is going to be really thin because there's not a lot of flexibility. There's not a lot of depth, but just how I look at it, it's a little bit too much uncertainty and putting too much stock into young pedigree guys that haven't really shown it in the bigs yet.
Would this be one of those classic, like when you see the scout grade, it's like 35, 55, like
if they all hit, it could be really, really good, but I just think the odds of that happening are enough to where I just stick them with the 40 and say, okay, it's average, and it could easily go one way or the other. And I don't remember if I did the AL first or the NL first. When I look at my grades for the AL, it kind of looks like maybe it was getting towards the end of the night and I'd already been doing it for a couple hours. So I was just like, okay, 40.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll change some of them on the fly as we go. Cause and again, we're looking at these. Now the Red Sox are not a team that made any trades. They've made no trades at all. So this is the roster that I was looking at when I did the grade, but yeah, it's just a little too much uncertainty. I like these guys. I like House. I like Cam Smith. I like Lawler. I love Bryce Eldridge. I like Harry Ford. But you put all those guys together, and that's most of the lineup right there. You just have one big giant question mark. I think most of them are the playing time should be secure enough. But if it's not, and they struggle, or a lot of these guys still have options, they could get sent down. There's not a whole lot on the bench to replace them with. The only infielder is Trey Sweeney, and he only plays shortstop. So. And that factors into the depth, the 35 depth, but I think that bled into my overall hitting rating a little bit as well.
Pull the number back up, because I think we had pretty much like almost exactly.
It was 40, 40, 35 is what I had.
So 40 for hitting?
Yeah.
Okay, I had 45 for hitting, 40 for pitching, and 35 for depth. So almost
exactly the same. Yeah.
I mean,
the pitching is maybe he gained a starter today in Rhett Lauder. If the Hunter Green thing is real and legitimate, maybe he gained himself a starter in Lauder, which of course, never hurts to pick up a guy moving into the rotation. But Yoshida already hurt. He had went with the kind of the reliever. He spread his money around pretty decently. There's one high end guy in Hunter Brown, and then a lot of just money kind of spread all over the place. But take Brown. Maybe your number 2 is Oviedo, and then you've got Barrios and Adrian. It's just not very good pitching after Brown, and you're already down one of the closers. And it's just nothing like it's average. I didn't give it a below average. I gave it an average.
Yeah, that's kind of
just nothing here. He's got one really good closer, one really good starter, and then kind of, I don't want to say blah, because Dennis Santana, Abner Uribe, they could combine for quite a few. Say like this could be decent. That's why I kind of just put it at 40. Like again, it could go one way or the other, but I just didn't see enough to. It's like maybe bump the pitching up to a 45. I could see maybe I was a little harsh on it, but
it's league average with the potential to be a higher end seed.
It could be the Red Sox could easily be better than 15th. In
Yes.
the NL, I feel like it was pretty clear that the Braves were 15th. Maybe you
Yeah.
can throw the Padres in there now too, because the Giants, because Matt has sold even more of his big league pieces.
Yeah.
But in the AL, I feel like
there wasn't a
both
team like
the,
that.
Yeah, both like
out.
the top 5 and the bottom 5. Most of them are interchangeable, kind of based on like how you're looking at it that day, or like, yeah, there's a lot of
like
almost there's like globs at the middle's a glob too, I guess. It's just like 3 separate globs, and it really doesn't take much to probably go from one glob
to the
other.
Yeah, like you could easily go from 15. This team could easily go from 15 to last team or 2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if everything clicks right, he makes a deal or 2, gets a prospect up or 2. Like, these things could look way different from one day to the next, and they often do. So yeah, that's the Red Sox. Gave him a 15. Sorry, Alex. Oh yeah, by the way, it's Alex that runs the Red Sox.
Yes,
I forgot to
do the owner introduction.
Mention that, but so let's we're gonna try to keep this under 2 hours if at all possible, guys. So kind of don't. I'm not like trying to burn through and not talk about stuff, but I really didn't want this one to go 2 hours. So let's go to 14. Baltimore Orioles. Now, Gary. I'm sorry, Gary. Gary's a friend. Gary's a longtime league mate in a lot of these leagues of mine. I'm pretty sure the Orioles have made a trade or 2 in the last week. So his roster may look considerably different than it did when I was, looking at it a week ago.
I think here's another one. I've got hitting 30, but I've got pitching 45, depth 35. So I mean, another one where we're right there again.
Yeah, roughly exactly the same. Let's take a look. Yeah, 35, 40. So yeah, maybe average, and below average, I guess.
And he might have had a hitting injury or 2. That's the thing when you did yours in a trade away or 2. That makes it look different.
So let's take a look. Again, it's kind of.
Oh, I see. I know why. I gave him the lower grade in hitting. He doesn't have a center fielder.
He has no center fielder. Yeah, he has literally no center fielder. And then there's quite a bit of uncertainty. I love Mookie. I'm on the Mookie train this year, trying to get him at a discount wherever possible. Caglione.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be good. I don't like the $18. Now, this is not what this pod, critiques is like the prices on these guys necessarily, but I just wanted to say I do quite like him. $18 seems expensive, but what did Eldridge go for 19? Like they're kind of the same guy almost, just big time power first base types in not great hitters parks, even though the Royals did move the fences in a little bit. I don't know. Just
he's got some higher end, like he's got Betts and Trout. I mean,
yeah, he's got Mookie, he's got Trout, he's got always steady Matt Chapman, he's got better than he usually seems Xavier Edwards because he runs a lot and stuff, and Augustin Ramirez looked good last year. So maybe I was a bit harsh as I look at the lineup right now. I wonder if he did something to.
I think for me the lower grade is like I said, and we had this. I don't know how many teams. It's at least 1, maybe 2, where he doesn't have a full lineup currently.
And you could say that about center field, but Nolan Jones, even if he's like on the he left Colorado and he turned into a total pumpkin. I mean, 1.7 in 350 at bats last year, a 1.7 point per game. Like you can kind of write him off as. If he plays every day, he doesn't seem like he's the kind of everyday bat you want in your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And again, factoring into the 35 depth, there's just no depth here. There's one outfielder that plays all 3 spots, but sucks.
Well, and he's not playing. He's not
an everyday guy. Yeah, he's not going to get any PT. So this team could run into depth issues really quickly.
But what I do want to say about that, with that one outfielder, He plays for the Minnesota Twins, who have the always healthy Byron Buxton, who is definitely, you can slot him in for 162 games.
It's true that the Twins are, it seems, snake bit, but this guy's just not very good, James Outman. No. He's just
he could turn into an everyday player, but just kind of a guy. Like
it seems that 23, where everybody kind of was like, oh shit, he was 3.1 point, he had a 353. That was an aberration. Like he's not that guy. He hasn't been that guy, in any of the at bats, even combined, ever since. I don't know what happened in 2023.
Was that the only time where he's really got full playing time?
Yeah, but clearly the Dodgers didn't deem it enough to continue that or whatever, because he's 130 at bats. Not a great line. May I bump him up 5 points and make that a.
Having said that, I know Gary will probably make 2 or 3 trades before the end of the week.
Oh, my idiot dog. All right, you talk about the pitching for a second. Let me get my stupid dog.
No problem. Let me pull this up. I'm using Alan's screen, but I can go here to the Orioles. Gary, pitching, he's got guys who will start in Taillon and Burns and Kramer and Pfaft. Sorry. Morales, I think, is coming back from injury. He's got some guys who can win some spots. He's got some middle reliever type. And what I mean by middle reliever, like none of them are holds guys, but they might be those guys that get 2 innings or whatever and not. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, I knew.
Gould and Leahy might be the closers on their team, at least for a little bit. So there might be some saves to be had.
Yeah, but I mean, outside like Leahy, 1 or 2 guys, you know what I mean? None of them are like, look like lockdown 7th, 8th, or 9th inning guys.
It feels a little light. Now looking at it now, giving him only a 40 because he's going to get 7 starts.
Yes. That's why I think I had 45 because it's above the league average.
I wonder, did Gary make...
Oh, I'm sure he traded for a starter.
No, he's made several. Yeah, yes. So his is one of the rosters that looks quite different. Yeah, he got Mookie, a couple days ago, for that matter. So yeah, his roster looks quite a bit different than what it did when I did these rankings. So this almost would need to be a total redo, but
he's going to get the 7 probably.
Yeah, I think he should have no problem. He's Burns, Taillon, Kramer, Fott, Will Warren, even Morales. Yeah, he really shouldn't have an issue getting to 7. So that should probably put him at least at a 45.
Yeah, that's what I had it there. And I wanted to go higher because he's getting the 7, but there's not much there for the bullpen. So he's going to get the 7 starts.
He's trying. The Leahy Sewell, we don't know who's going to be closing games in Arizona, and really, I don't think we know who's going to be closing games in St. Louis. But Roster Resource has Leahy as the closer right now. But yeah,
how many games are they going to win this year? Resident Cardinals fan.
Take the under. Whatever Take the under. I'm hoping we get some pretty early in the season Liam Doyle action because I have him in TFE and I want to dangle him as a trade chip, but it's not going to be a fun year to be a Cardinal fan, I don't think. Hasn't been for a minute, but yeah, this is the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe the Orioles again. I feel okay. I got him at 14. He's made several trades since these rankings came out, so he could easily be different. But that's where he's going to slot in right now because that's where he was when I did the rankings. So maybe these guys said they like sensed it and or they watched the NL rank and they're like, oh shit, I don't want to be in the bottom, and went out and made some deals. Gary's maybe one of those guys.
But knowing Gary, I guarantee you can hit him up for a trade and he will gladly accept.
He'll always talk. He'll always talk. I don't know if he'll always accept, but he will always talk.
He will always engage in talks, and I don't think I've ever had a non-enjoyable trade talk with him. And you will know it'll either get a deal done or not. So There's no BSing around.
All right, number 13. We've got the White Sox. Amsterdam Matt running the White Sox. And I went with a 35 hitting, 55 pitching, and 35 depth. What did you give?
So you have,
your scout grades?
I gave 20 for the hitting. He must have a hole. He must have, like, 20 is because he didn't have a complete lineup. I got 35 depth, the same, and the pitching I had 50. Another like, we're almost spot on again. Like, it seemed like we were more
I'm
off.
a little bit
with
surprised.
Yeah, it seemed like we were a little more off with the NL, which is that's fine,
We'll flip to his roster here, and you can see
I've got
there's
got to be
you
a
did
hole.
not like his hitting.
There's got to be a hole.
Oh, there's at least one. I mean,
he doesn't have a catcher. He doesn't have a catcher. That's it right there.
He doesn't have a catcher, and he doesn't have much of an outfield to speak of. Like, I know Collins is supposed to get every day at bats, but my faith in Zach Cole and the Zach Cole Garrett Mitchell combo is not high. Dubon is going to be getting every day at bats for a while, but then Kim is going to come back, and I know that's maybe looking a little far down the road, but even so, it's Mauricio Dubon as your shortstop.
Is he an outfielder?
I don't think
too?
He does a little bit of everything.
So is he who is the biggest beneficiary of that Pro Farmers?
Probably not Dubon. He was already in the lineup. Maybe it might be Dominic Smith, who I think now Roster Resource has as the DH.
Okay.
So it might be Dominic Smith, who is owned.
Yeah.
I don't recall who, but he is owned. But it kind of feels like Scott White mentioned this on the CBS pod earlier today, that the Braves also don't have to pay him for these 162 games. So it frees up about $15 million for the Braves to maybe run out and get somebody. Not that there's a ton of great names out there to run out and get, but it doesn't take much to be better than Dominic Smith
or Mauricio Dubon, or
Well, yeah, Dubon's going to be the shortstop.
Yeah. But I mean, he plays outfield. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, he plays left and center.
Yeah.
Also, so yeah, he can be shoveled around anywhere. But yeah, he's not a bats guy. You look at his highest points per game was 2.6 in 2023, and he needed 10 homers to grind that out. So
and was that trash can era?
23. I feel like that was a little bit after, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but still, he's just not very good. He's not a bat guy. He's a glove guy, and you don't want a lot of glove only guys in your fantasy lineup unless they run a ton or something also, and he just doesn't. So yeah, it's just not a very good lineup. You're playing Jake Bauers at first, who 192 at bats on the Trax projection. That might be generous. I know they were playing him a bit in the second half, but that 192 might be generous for Jake Bauers. And it's just, and then there's no depth to speak of. There's a guy that plays second. There's two guys that play first, but Hoskins is on a minor league deal. This guy's a bum. Jeremiah Jackson, sorry, but he's kind of a bum. Just not a good lineup. Not a whole lot of depth, or there's some flexibility here, but it's not like guys that you are excited to be able to get into the lineup. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I have to play Jake Bauers in left field today because Zach Cole has the day off or whatever. Like, you're not excited about that depth and flex. So he does have Ohtani, I guess.
Yes.
Ohtani does factor in there. I guess that's kind of probably
what
took it from a 30 to a 35 for me, because without Ohtani, this lineup's a 30 or probably about. Like I said, everybody gets a 30. If you showed up and wrote your name on the paper and did the auction, you're probably getting out of here with a 30.
And see, for me, you have to have a full lineup. Otherwise, I just give you a 20.
Yeah. You're harsher than I am. You're harsher with the low grades, and then oftentimes more generous with the high grades than I am. But yeah, that's what takes it up to a 35, is that you can at least play Ohtani in the UT spot. And then, of course, he also pitches. Everybody loves Kyle Bradish. I like Kyle Bradish. Miz, 30. I think $30 is a bit wacky for him, but
starting pitcher.
I haven't seen him go for a lot less in these startups just because he was so electric and so exciting in his debut. And Framber, Miz, Otani, Bradish is a really nice front four. And then he's got some guys that should rack up saves and holds. Smith,
like Griffin,
Abreu,
Jacks.
Estrada. Yeah, so this is why he gets all the way up to the 55 in pitching. I could see it being even better than that.
Yeah.
But pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see what Miz can do over a full season, how many innings he's actually going to throw. Kind of same with Otani. You kind of never know exactly how many. And Bradish is coming off a big injury too, so it's just a lot of built-in risk and some level of uncertainty in the pitching. But did give it a 55, and I do like it, but it's not enough to buoy the terrible hitting and the kind of the lack of depth, especially on the hitting side. But there's some depth issues here with the pitching as well. It's like it's all starters on the bench when one of them injured. So it's like if any of these relievers run into anything at all, you're kind of just not particularly deep. The pitching's deeper than the hitting, but the hitting is like almost a zero for depth.
Yeah.
So that's where you end up with White Sox number 13.
In Amsterdam, Matt. That's where
Amsterdam, Matt. That's right.
So we have two Matts.
Yeah, we have Dump immediately after the auction Matt and Amsterdam Matt. Yeah. So
yes.
Let's go to number 12. We've got Kansas City Royals. And Brian, who kind of like Gary, longtime league mate in a lot of these different leagues, loves his injured pitchers, loves pitchers coming off of Tommy John surgery. That's a longtime favorite of his. And so, decent numbers, 40, 45, 40, 45, 35.
This guy had to have made a trade. And here's why I'm going to say that. I have depth at 35. I have pitching at 35, which is kind of in the realm of where you have it. I have his hitting at 65.
Whoa.
So let's take a look.
So now it's possible he has not made a single trade.
So let's see why we're way off on the hitting.
Yeah, what do I have? What did I have? 40, 45. So I've got him average above average, average above average. And let's take a look.
There must be something I just absolutely love about this lineup.
I think it's a full lineup. It is a full lineup.
It's a full line. I think looking at it, Alonso, Terang, Lindor, Riley Green,
it's pretty good. Yeah, I could see it maybe hitting the 45 and maybe up to a 50. I just
I like a lot of those guys, maybe more.
Yeah, I'm just I guess I want to see more out of guys like Durbin and Parker Meadows and Noelvi. Like, I think Durbin could be really good in Boston. I don't want to take anything away from like this because it is a pretty good lineup. I just feel like there's a lot of and I'm for whatever reason I'm not a Terang guy. I haven't got there yet on Bryce Terang. Maybe he was a lot better than I thought he was.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I mean, it's gradual improvement, and the kid's 26, so he was
pretty good. Yeah, 3.4. Maybe he was a little bit better than I thought, and he's going to a pretty friendly environment, a good lineup. So maybe I don't give Bryce Terang enough credit.
Isn't he, or did he get traded?
Oh yeah. I don't know why I said. I'm thinking of Durbin. Durbin went to Boston. Yeah.
Because with Terang, I owned him in TFE the last few years, and it's just been a steady improvement. And his power came. What's his power numbers from the year before?
18 last year.
And the year before?
7.
Yeah. So I know he had a big jump in ISO and power, and it just seems like what was that? 340 to 430?
Well, yeah, he went from a 665 OPS to a 794, and it's like, okay, is he an 800 OPS guy or is he more of a mid 6, low 7s? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't owned him anywhere, so I don't look into him a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think he
yeah,
leads off for that lineup too.
Maybe I'm a little bit late to the
Lower,
party.
yeah.
I'm late to the Bryce Terang party.
And I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't love the Parker, Meadows, Soler, Noelvi chunk of the outfield. I like Riley Green. I don't love this little chunk, but it's like these guys are at least getting every day at bats.
Yeah.
So maybe I was a bit harsh. So you could say 45-50 instead of 40-45. But
I mean, and for me, it's that Terang thing along with Lindor, Alonso, looking at those guys
I think this was like I think I was really dinging Lindor for the hamate, getting his power sapped and stuff. Like I was just kind of maybe more worried about that when I was doing these than I feel like I am now. Because when I look at the lineup now, it's pretty decent. I mean, and there is some flexibility. There's not a ton, but there is some flexibility here. Not much of a bench to speak of.
No.
And the pitching,
a lot of red. Sorry, that's just the first thing.
Well, I mean, what did I say? Like Brian loves his TJ pitcher. So here's Justin Steele. Here's a guy coming off, and Joe Musgrove. Here's AJ Puck. Yeah. He loves his injured pitchers, and the front two are really nice. Musgrove and Webb. Musgrove looked great before his injury, and still is only 33, so has time to like make it back and still be really productive again. And Logan Webb is a top 10 SP probably year over year, just like points per game wise.
What was Steele coming off of last year? Was it TJ?
He's TJ. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I'm not putting him. Let's see. What does it say?
June. What did it say? May, June.
Yeah. So I'm not really factoring him into these rankings right now, or at least I didn't. Because after Musgrove and Webb, it's pretty gross. It's Bradley Blaylock. It's JP Sears, Braxton Garrett, who is one of the more injured pitching prospects of the last few years. Also, Detmers, I think, is supposed to be. They're going to try him as a starter, but he's been terrible as a starter. So I have little to no faith in that experiment working out. So it's Musgrove and Webb, and then a lot of question marks and red flags. Yeah. So I just I don't love it, but again, it's like a one of these teams that you swing a deal or two, or these guys work out better than I think they're going to, and he's like team number 7 instead of team number 12. Like you could see it happening. This
is one of those where
this is where he went.
The bats are definitely going to carry him.
I would think so. Yeah. Cause even so say Joe Musgrove comes back and looks like Joe Musgrove. He's coming off TJ. He's 17 months off TJ, but still, like, I don't think he probably gets eased into innings as much as like a young guy coming off TJ, because he's 33 and he's a veteran and stuff, but still just, you're probably not going to expect a ton of 7 and 8 inning outings, at least not initially, from Joe Musgrove. So after Logan Webb, the pitching looks really thin, and almost by design, because it's Brian, very thin and a lot of red flags. Yeah. So yeah, not my cup of tea. Got him at number 12. Could be better, could be worse.
Yes.
Like most of these, let's check number 11. Who do we got? All right, so here's the first really, really interesting.
And he was looking forward to what we were going to say. And I think anyone with a unbiased opinion would agree with this. You had his hitting at 65-70. I had it at 60. You had his depth at 30. I had it at 35. Pitching 40. I had it at 40. So, I mean, we're pretty much in agreement. He has super high and elite bats. Okay. Now,
well, and he made a big trade. He actually got rid of one of those high end bats. He got rid of Caminero, but he did bring in Tatis. So
I thought he still had him. or who has Cam? An AL team must have Caminero because I remember looking.
Oh wait, no, God, I'm sorry. No, he no, yeah, he traded. Yeah, he traded Caminero and Matt Wallner, and he brought in Tatis and Robbie Ray and
Yeah.
Dalton Rushing.
Yeah.
So it's like he gave up a high end bat, but he got one back. So it probably doesn't skew these grades terribly because he kind of went like for like, not like the same position or anything, but did go.
The thing
that
he's talked a little in the Discord, and the thing that he's going to run into, and we talked about it, is it's going to be a house of cards type deal. If he has a fate like the Reds are unfortunately seemingly suffering with, what was it, the Hunter Green possible, and then trading away Ramirez and not getting Jose Ramirez production back. Let's just say he trades away Kurtz and gets, who was that Royals first baseman we just said?
Vinny P.
Yeah, let's just say he gets Vinny P back, not Kurtz, obviously, but a solid bat. That could drop this thing off,
I kind of want to drop it off already now that I'm looking. Like center field is terribly weak. Left field is quite weak. Third base is very weak. And second base, Christian Moore, I mean, I like him, but he looked terrible in the majors. So maybe
the only
drop
thing
this
is
down to like a 60, 65.
Yeah, I had it at 60 or 60 because
I don't think it peaks at 70 like I had
No.
it. I don't think it does.
It was just the jumping off of, yeah, it does look awesome. You have Kurtz, you have Bobby Witt, you have Tatis.
And I mean, Drake Baldwin hit the shit out of the ball last year too. I count him up there, not up there with like Tatis and Witt, but should be a top 5 catcher.
Mm-hmm.
And probably eclipse the 3-point per game. But yeah, just too much. I do not think Perdomo is a 100 RBI,
No
guy. We might have seen the career year from him now. He's only 26. Like maybe he turned into like a hell of a bat, but I want to see it again before I.
The other issue, and sorry, didn't mean to step on you there, but the other issue is there's no flexibility. Like you have
no
Perdomo,
flexibility, there's no bench. Yeah.
Yeah. You have Perdomo and Witt. Okay. Then you have, you don't.
Rob Refsnyder.
Yeah. You can't.
You have one guy that plays center fields, and it's Angel Martinez, who, he's a scrote. He's a scrote.
Yeah.
He got 446 at bats last year, but he didn't do anything with them. 2.1 points per game. So center field is a giant hole. Second base is potentially a giant hole. Third base is a giant hole. And that's too many giant holes. Really, left field could be a giant hole too.
Yeah.
There's too many potential giant holes for a team to have a 65, 70, I think. So I got to knock them down to
60.
Give them a solid 60 with maybe a 65, if everybody hits. But yeah, knock that down to a 60. And the pitching. Now, again, he didn't have I don't remember. He definitely didn't have Robbie Ray when I did the rankings.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the rest of it was about what it is. And while Sandy and Gavin Williams could make a really good 1-2, and Rogers throw him in there with potentially a good 1-2-3, and now maybe add Robbie Ray and Dustin May, this pitching probably bumps up to like a 40-45. The bullpen kind of sucks, but
he's going to get close to the starts.
Yeah, shouldn't have a huge issue getting 7, and there's a better chance that some of the 7 are pretty good. Rogers has looked really good again this spring. So yeah, maybe knock down his hitting and bump up the pitching a little bit. I don't know if that would move him up a spot. I don't know.
But it's just another one of those things.
Maybe it would, but
it's just another one of those things where the starters on paper look good, but you get 1 or 2 bad luck things here or there, and it could.
We could say that about most of. I mean, even myself, who I gave the giant depth grade to. If I lose a couple of starters, it's going to hurt me. Even like nobody's depth is as good as all of their starters. Or else they wouldn't be depth guys. They'd be starters for somebody else. So Like we can say that about everybody, but it's these teams that are kind of in the back and middle
It's
that
the
really are lacking in
stars.
the depth. Yeah.
What was it?
It's
Someone said it wasn't even stars and scrubs. It was like stars, 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 scroats. I think you
stars,
might
stars,
start.
and nothing. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the Reds. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, and a lot of us are in that same boat, and without all of the stars, you know, like
Yeah.
I have a bunch of kind of mediocre, good guys, but I have a lot of them. I don't really have a star. If my star is Cody Bellinger, which it probably is, then I'm, you know, if a guy goes down, maybe it doesn't hit me as hard, but I'm still losing that production, you know, and having to hope that my depth guy can come in and give me 80% of what I lost, which I don't know if that's something you always want to hope for. So yeah, William, and again, the depth is pretty awful. There's zero relief depth to speak of. There's zero hitting depth. You know, almost an actual zero for hitting depth. So
and what does he have? He has
30.
He still has 3 roster spots to play with.
What's he got here? Yeah,
3.
If he chooses to, yeah.
He could easily trade
interesting
something for depth if he wanted to.
It's an interesting it's a Reds-esque team, but I think the Reds are considerably better, but it does kind of have that high-end potential with also the like fragility that the Reds had. When we did the Reds have tried to address some of that, made a lot of deals. The Angels, not as much. Let's move into the top 10. Boom. So this is the team, the Cleveland, that looks way different.
Okay. Yeah, because when I
did these.
This is where so I have their pitching at 25. I have their hitting at 50, and I have their depth at 40.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pitching now, and I think
is 25 accurate or?
I think it's more accurate than the 45 I have written down here because it's pretty gross. But we'll look at the hitting first, of course, which I gave a 40. But again, this is the team that has made 7 trades since I did these rankings last week. So considerably different roster than what those grades I just gave were.
And if I remember right, Blue Jay John is a very anti-starting pitching guy, or I don't want to maybe say that, but like I remember we were always talking about, especially in the TFE, you know, beginning days, like he's like, oh, you guys just overvalue starting pitching too much and stuff like, you know, like he was saying that when he was trying to acquire it. And I think he's maybe learned that, but maybe he hasn't got on that train just yet to spend it, you know. Because what was the pitch? Let's go to the pitching since we said that. Like you said, that was the biggest.
Pitching is bad. It's Mackenzie Gore and Cody Ponce, and then
that's it.
Bryce Elder, I guess maybe. So he's not gonna get 7 starts. He's not gonna get 7, and the ones he get have a real danger of not being all that good.
Yeah. I mean, you got
no relief to speak of. He traded for Ryan Walker as a saves guy, but the other relievers are scroats. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a minor league guy, a guy who's in the minors in his.
Yeah. I don't know what the plan is here for the Jays. Now again, the Jays.
We call him Blue Jay
Cleveland.
Yeah.
But the injured Corbin Carroll. He did just get Jose Ramirez today, so that makes the lineup look, you know, add Jose Ramirez to any lineup, it's going to make that lineup look a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But it still doesn't look all that great, really. It's fine. I mean, you know, Marcy is nice. He plays all 3 spots. He was pretty good last year. Willie Adames is a fine shortstop. Ramirez, of course, a superstar. Wilson Contreras, I like, but you're not getting a lot of at-bats in your catcher spot. 250 tracks projects Danny Jansen for. He has no backup catcher. And there is some semblance of a bench, but it's just a lot of I like Tristan Casas. I do like him. I'm still a believer. but
But
who
where,
knows what he comes back looking like.
yeah, where are you going to play? I mean, you've already got Contreras. And
Yeah, I mean, well, O'Neill can slip
could,
into right. He'll find ways because
yeah.
this lineup is going to, I think, be missing some at bats somewhere. But it's just there's a lot of names. There's a lot of like guys on this bench, but not a lot of them are going to like Volpe will be a full-time
Okay.
player once he gets back, but
Is
will
he?
he be very good?
Is he
I mean,
going to
he
be?
has been. He has
Yeah.
been the last 3 years. I don't know if he's done enough
Who
to
was the
lose
guy
that
that came
spot.
up? Who was the guy that they played at short at the end of the year? The Yankees. It was like a younger guy. I have to look that up.
I don't know.
I know it
He was
wasn't
Bob.
Volpe because I have Volpe in another league, and there
No,
was
he got hurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
But I
injured.
mean, there was
Still injured.
questions that they even said that he'd come back and even reclaim that job.
Well, he has trouble making contact. He's got pop and stuff, but yeah, he's
Jose Caballero.
oh Caballero, yeah. So
Yeah,
for
Caballero.
the first part of the year, he's going to be playing shortstop, but he's
Yeah.
another one of these guys. And for our purposes, he plays all over the place. He plays
Yeah.
second, third, short, some outfield spots. Yeah, I think I spent $11 on him for that reason. So yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
lineup looks
probably
maybe a
team
little
that-
bit better, but the pitching looks worse. So I'm comfortable putting him at 10, and I could even see maybe dropping him
at least 2 or 3
dropping them
spots.
behind the Angels because the Angels lineup is much better and the Angels pitching might be better too. So
Yeah.
I could see moving the Angels up to 10 easily and
But this is
dropping
one where
the
I could
Cleveland
even
back.
I could even make the argument you could even flip him with the Red Sox. You know, like this just goes to our point in the beginning of like it's a blob of 1 or 2 things positive for one team and 1 or 2 negative things from one team, and you could flip from being a cellar dweller to contending for the playoffs.
If the Carroll injury lingers or like really saps his power, that's a big $47 roster spot that you're not getting $47 worth of production out of.
Yep.
So I mean, because if you assume that he's going to be okay once he comes back, any lineup with Jose Ramirez and Corbin Carroll in it seems like it should perform better than whoever you have in 15th of the power rankings. Seems like,
Yes.
you know, but I could see it going the other way. It's there's no huge gaping holes there, you know, like even if it's a guy you don't like.
Well, besides
Grisham was fine. He was fine last year. Catcher's maybe a hole, but Jansen's going to get his at bats. And India at second base is like, okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
So at least it's not a hole. So I don't know that I would see the pitching is bad enough to where I could see this team being a bottom 3 team. But he's made 7 trades in the last week. I don't think this is somebody that's going to sit on his hands and just watch himself be in the bottom without trying. So, but that's where I got him. Yeah, maybe even bump him behind the Angels for our purposes right now. And because that pitching's scary bad.
Let's just not look at it.
Scary bad.
Let's move on.
So let's get into the top 10. Look at number 9, who is Seattle Seth. He does not live in Seattle, but he does like the Mariners and runs the Mariners here. Gave him a 45-50 hitting, 45-50 pitching, 40 in depth.
Yeah, I had 45, 45, 45.
Oh, wow. So makes it easy
about
enough,
as steady Eddie is.
Yeah.
Like just above league average on everything.
And Seth, I feel like I've said this several times now, but Seth is another longtime league mate, and goes back to running the Mariners and ABL. He infamously gave everybody on his team a max contract after the first year of ABL. Yes. And, some of those worked out. Some of them didn't, but it was interesting all the same. And we talked about it on the pod back then 5 years ago about who the hell is this guy that gave everybody a max contract and why did he do it?
I do want to say this. Seth gave it, and I get a lot, I love Seth. We're good friends and stuff like that. So I can say this, but it's for perspective here. This is the extreme he went to with that 5-year contract. He gave Bobby Bradley a 5-year contract. And I know that.
And the reason you know that is because you traded.
I traded for him. And here's why I'm bringing that up. Because he gave him a 5-year and he had to pay to get rid of them. So this is something some of these owners who are new to this format need to realize is, yeah, you can give an albatross of a contract, but you're going to have to pay it. I think he paid me at least 2 first-round picks just to get me to take on Bobby Bradley.
And so, then later on, you were desperately trying to get rid of Bobby Bradley. Did you end up cutting him?
No, I got rid of him. Someone traded
me
from. Yeah.
There's always somebody that's going to be willing to take on a shit contract. Like almost always.
Yep.
There's exceptions that prove the rule, of course, but like there are ways. Just when you think this guy might have an untradeable contract.
No, it's not. Trust me.
There'd always be somebody.
Because what was I also took on Flaherty in that league too at $44.
Yeah, $44.
And I think I got 2 first rounders out of that. So I mean, if you get a team who's on that rebuild or whatever, they're willing to eat some of that salary and take on.
Yeah, if they've got the cap space and they're not going for it that year,
they can get those.
It'll cost you, but they will do it.
Yeah.
So Seth's lineup, 45-50, I think I gave it. The high end is obviously here with Julio and Trey Turner. And
I mean, he has C1.
Did he have Trey Turner? I feel like he did not have Trey Turner when I did this.
Just click on the name. Click on Trey.
Yeah, we can do that
trans,
now, right?
Trans fantasy.
No, 24th.
That might have been
he did have them. Yeah, I think he did have them. So yeah, Seager, Turner, Julio, Jazz. As much as I don't like him, it can be a stud. Rafi Devers can be a stud. C1, I like.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of holes with at right and left field, and I don't even know if you'd call Gurriel a hole. He's just very unexciting, and kind of beat up.
Yeah,
Tyler Freeman is a hole, and that's the only right fielder on the roster right now. So that's trouble. Probably what stops this lineup from like really breaking through to the really, really good to great territory.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty big hole. I mean, you don't want zero. More teams are going to get by with a 1.5, 2 point per game catcher than they are a right fielder. Like you don't want to be taking zeros and 1 point from your outfield spots. It's a little bit easier to do from your catcher spot, but you don't want that from your outfield. So a little bit rough, but it's a pretty good lineup. I mean, it can be a pretty good lineup. How long is Max Muncy going to keep being, 3.5 point per game guy? He hasn't slowed down yet, but he's going to eventually. Not a lot of flexibility. Also, a lot of single position guys here. And you're pretty much hamstrung into always playing Trey Turner in your utility spot because him and Seager both only play shortstop. So kind of handicaps any flexibility you might have had anyway.
What's the pitching?
Pitching is okay, especially with Shane McClanahan looking, through 2 innings the other day and said he felt good, said he had fun. So you've got McClanahan, Sale, Molly, is a half decent front 3, and then guys that should get other, Weiss should get starts. Urquidy, I don't know exactly what the plan is. They gave him $1.5 million. Roster Resource has him as the 5-man right now. Don't know how reliable that is going to be, but
what about,
you can see a path
Wheeler's
towards
news?
7 starts. He had TJ,
Okay,
right? Or no, he didn't. It's shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, bad shoulder. Threw a bullpen just the other day. But
so I mean, if he comes back by May or whatever, in full health,
isn't expected to be ready for opening day, but doesn't expect a lengthy. So let's just kind of write him as like a 35-year-old with shoulder problems.
Yeah.
But if he comes back to, to be 80% of Zach Wheeler, then Wheeler, Sale, McClanahan, Molly is a pretty good front 4.
Mm-hmm. It's
just it's not very good relief pitching, and there's not a lot of depth behind those front 4. So that's where you get the 45-50 pitching. I think it's better than average, and it could be better than average, but there's also some question marks here and some risk, like most other teams' pitching is going to be, honestly.
Yes.
But I think you get a team that's in the top 10, but not necessarily firmly in the top 10. I think he could go another one of these AL teams that could go either way.
Mm-hmm. And Seth was what number?
Number 9.
So now we're getting into the playoffs.
We're getting into the meat, yeah. Past the bone, get into the meat, or past the meat, get into the bone. Yeah. Number 8, the Blue Jays.
The Limey.
Limey Ben, yeah, old Limey Ben. 55-60 out of the lineup, 55-60 out of the pitching, and a 40 for depth. So it seems like I kind of like the Blue Jays.
This is quite interesting because we went from the Mariners, who I had 45, 45, 45, right? The Blue Jays, I have 50, 50, 50. So
again, not that far off from each other here.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, based on how I'm ranking him here, maybe I should have had him higher than 8th, but that's where he's at. Pretty good lineup. Pretty good. I don't know if he's made any deals. I don't know if he's one of the teams that's made any deals since this, but yeah, pretty good lineup. Kettle, Shanwell, Okamoto, don't know what he's going to be, but it seems like he should be, at least good, maybe at least average. The outfield is fine. Nimmo, Friedel, Brian Reynolds, Brent Doyle, Boba at short. Like it's a pretty good lineup. It's a well above average lineup, which is why he gets a 55-60.
Who is his catcher? Okay.
William Contreras.
Well, I didn't know because I saw he had Bioster Moises, and I don't know how long it'll take him to get catcher eligibility.
So it's elite second base and then pretty good really everywhere else. Like there's no obvious holes here. There's no glaring weaknesses except for maybe flexibility. A lot of these guys are single position only, but that you don't dock too much for that because the lineup is filled out. It's every single one of these guys is an everyday player projected for 400, 500 plus ABs. Pretty good lineup. Really good lineup, I would say.
I think the depth came with it. He had to have some depth in pitching, I think, to get
pitching. You got Imai, Strider, Nate Eovaldi, and then that's kind of when the question marks start popping up. Like you could see the path to 7 with Grant Holmes, with Luis Gil. Bryce Miller is sitting down here, but it's his left side. He's not left-handed, so I don't know what his deal is. If Miller's okay, Imai, Strider, Miller is a pretty good front 3. So that's why, again, I gave him a 55-60. Like the potential is there. Dave Festa, he shut down a couple of weeks for a shoulder, but I think he shouldn't have an issue getting 7. And then of the 7, I think several of them have a chance to be pretty damn good. It all kind of leans on Imai and Strider. We have no idea what either of these guys are going to look like, really. Like Imai was an exciting name in these startups, went for $27 here, and Hot Stove, I think he was 25 or some thereabout. So people are high on him, but it remains to be seen what he's actually going to give us, as like fantasy players. So if Strider looks like he did last year, that's not very good version of Spencer Strider. And if Imai looks like a lot of Japanese pitchers have, the Otanis and the Daisuke's and the Nomos, those are the exceptions, I think, for the most part. If he looks more like Hideki Arabu back for most of his career, then he's probably not worth $27, and the top of that rotation looks
would that be less. Hideki the lesser, not Matsui?
No, Hideki Arabu, if you remember the fat toad. I don't know if it was Joe Torre. So somebody called him a fat toad. It might have been like David Letterman or something like that, but somebody called, or it might have been Steinbrenner. It might have been Steinbrenner called Hideki Arabu a fat toad. And that's just kind of, he's always stuck in my head mostly because of that. I think he was decent, but
I'm going to place a side bet that by the end of the podcast, you have the Blue Jays in the top 3 or 4.
Get the hell out of here.
No, I'm just saying that. I bet after you start to look at some of these teams above them.
I guess it's not impossible. I mean,
because you said that because you're like, man, now looking at this, why do I have them?
Maybe I should have them a little higher than I do. But
I'm just looking into the future, and I think you might have them in top 3 or 4 by the end.
that's entirely possible.
All right.
As such, let's move on to number 7. The Texas Rangers. And I say, now see, here's one right here. I could see moving the Jays just on like grades alone. I could see moving the Jays ahead of these guys. Where I gave a 60-65 to the hitting, 35-40 to pitching. I almost feel like they should definitely be ahead of these guys, actually.
It didn't even take one team.
No, it
didn't. So now here's funny. We started at the Mariners 3 teams ago that were 45, 45, 45. I had the Blue Jays at 50, 50, 50. The Rangers I have at 50 hitting, 45 pitching, 45 depth. So that's why I could see flipping these. Like, we're right in lockstep there.
So, all right. So I gave the lineup a 60-65. Really the only huge weakness I think in this lineup is at first base. I don't know what Josh Bell, is going to be. Other than that, though, you're looking at elite in several different spots. You have elite Kyle Tucker, you have elite Kyle Schwarber, elite Gunnar, elite Cal Raleigh. So you're looking at 4 guys that are like high-end elite bats, and then guys that could be very, very good bats, but that haven't necessarily shown it over a full season yet, like Lou Bob, like Colton Cowser, like Miguel Vargas, who is going to play every single day for the Sox, and here has 2 positions in our league here. So really the only hole is first base.
But he has Jock.
Jock's not an everyday guy though either.
No, but I'm saying like he can plug and play. Like that can be an interchangeable. Jock's not every day, but when Jock plays, he produces.
Yeah, when his matchup is good, he does. Yeah. He does hit. He still mashes. But yeah, I think it's a very solid lineup. Yes. Not a lot of flexibility, but high on the elite talent. You have 5 guys that are $35 or more, like or rather 4. But still, it's a lot of high end bat talent, and maybe comes at the expense of the pitching, which is, I gave it a 35-40. I don't even know if it's maybe I probably gave it 35-40 because he should at least get close to 7. Yeah. But it's when a bunch of your pitchers are Rockies pitchers, like real life Rockies pitchers, it's the downside is tremendous. Yes. Even if you get to your 7, the downside is still pretty extreme.
So that's what I was going to say is, you got Freeland, Lorenzen, Quintana. Like, none of those guys are exciting, but they're going to get you points,
Yeah. All right. I'm going to drop the next one, and then I drank a Red Bull. So there's no way I'm going to be able to not piss before we're done. Okay. So I'm going to drop the next one, and then you can give your grades. Cause I'm a weak bladdered 41-year-old male now. Okay. So I have at number 6, Detroit Tigers by Tiger John.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me pull up their roster so I can see it. The Tigers, you have 55-50, 50-45. I have the Tigers 50 in pitching, 45 in hitting, and 50 in depth. So, I mean, we're right at that. Like, Tiger John is another guy like Seth. His lineup's going to be like, he was the last owner, I believe, and he does this a lot. Like, I've noticed that he was the last owner to win a player. Like, he always just lays low and waits for the middle to end of the auction, and that's when he pounces. And I mean, you'll notice that when Allen gets back, he does not have a single player over $18 in salary. His lineup is just filled with a bunch of guys who are going to get 500 to 600 at bats. The thing, I don't know if you heard, because if you have earbuds or whatever,
Yeah, I
but
did.
like, he was the last guy to win a player, right? And even been
He did that in Hot Stove too, and I
Yeah,
almost think this time around it was a little bit to his detriment. I think he missed out on guys that he could have spent money on. Ooh, that's the wrong screen. Guys that he could have spent money on and maybe put together a little bit better lineup, especially. I mean, it's fine.
solid.
Like
Yeah,
it's solid. Like I get a 50, 55, and then a 50 on the pitching. Like it's good. I've got him top 6. And this is like classic John. He does not go star power.
no,
He's quiet. He doesn't talk a lot. I think he in real life works in a library. So like it kind of makes sense that he's like a super quiet dude because he spends his work days, I think, in a library. So like the quietness of John, but he's also like a quiet killer because he is really good at this. Like he knows his stuff. He knows his prospects. He is a real life Tiger fan.
Yes.
I thought he was going to fight me a lot harder on Colt Keith than he did. I mean, I had to spend like $17 on him, but I kind of thought that was somebody that John was saving his money for. And I was pretty happy to get Colt Keith and not have to deal with John running him up to like $20. But the lineup is good. It's good. Again, it's lacking star power. There's no, there's no big bopper or anything. Like there's guys that could produce 25 plus homers and like 90 plus ribbies. Manzardo could do that. Lau could do that. I mean, Yander, I guess could even do that, but
they're all like high end to low end 3-point per game guys.
Yeah. Like you said, it's guys that are getting at bats every day.
Yep.
There is some former high end prospects shine with Carson Williams. Like maybe he figures it out and learns to stop striking out so much because the power and speed are absolutely real with him. He just can't make contact. He's got one reserve outfielder, but it is a guy that is a strong side platoon and plays all 3 spots.
He's got a lot of guys who have a lot of different positions. Like, I mean, he's got Sedin, who's second center. Well, then if he moves him to second, oh no, Lowe's only second eligible. Sorry. But like he's got a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he's got flexibility.
Yeah.
There is some question marks with Brooks Lee and Mayer. Like you don't really know what you're going to get full season from both of these guys. But I think overall, it's well above average lineup. And good enough coupled with the well above average pitching. Now he did lose Pablo. That is a blow, of course. And looking at it again, I might be a little strong on the Tiger pitching, honestly, to give it a 50. Noah Cameron, and then Bayo, Eflin, Jack Leiter has not been very good. Like, I might have been a little strong on. Geez, I could maybe see moving the Blue Jays.
I'm sorry, what was that you said?
I could maybe see moving the Blue Jays up into 6.
Let me know when you.
It's coming dangerously closer to moving the Blue Jays into the top 3 and fulfilling your prophecy. Yeah, because the pitching is not that great. I mean, Lugo. Okay, so it's like you're investing somewhat heavily in 2 Royals pitchers, and like I said earlier, the Royals did move the fences in a little bit. So what was a great pitcher's park is maybe now a little less so. He lost Pablo for the season. Manaea, there's a lot of faith in that he's refigured out his arm slot and is going to look more like
$7. That's a pretty good contract.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's like I still think he's going to get 7. Even if you take Pablo out.
When's Sandoval back? I think he's back early in the year.
It's possible he opens the season on the injured list.
Possible.
So I'm not counting him as much right now, but with Roop, Lugo, Leiter, Cameron, Manaea, and Bayo, he probably hits his 7 at least. Yeah. So, I guess I could see why I gave him a 50. Maybe it's more like a 45 because hitting your 7s, average. We'll call it average. Make that at least a 40, and then there's some room for him. So knock him from a 50 to a 45, and maybe bump the Blue Jays. Maybe bump the Blue Jays up another notch. I could see it. I don't think it's that crazy. And the depth, with John, there's not a lot of great pitching depth we saw, but the The bat depth is it's okay. I gave him a 45, slightly above average, because depth in the AL it seems to be a
It's
four-letter
not.
word.
Yes. Yeah.
Most teams do not have it, so
Yeah.
it is slightly above average at least. Now let's move into the top 5. We're barely gonna get this thing in under 2 hours. Even trying to go fast.
I know.
That's just it's just what
You
happens.
have to touch on. Yeah. No, it's no big. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta touch on everybody. I don't want to say, okay, this guy's 15th, and now let's
No.
move on to 14th. You want to give everybody a little bit of reason to watch. Yeah, sure. So number 5, we've got Tampa Rays, our other limey, Ian. 45 out of 50 hitting, 60-65, not 45 out of 50, 45-50, 60-65 pitching, and 40-45 depth. I think the only team that I gave kind of varying ratings on because I just didn't know where to put him on most of these. Where do you have the Rays?
55 pitching, so we're pretty close there. I had 45 hitting, good there, and 50 depth.
Okay, yeah, not that far.
I think he's the greater limey of the two.
Well, yeah, clearly so do I. But geez, they might be closer than
you thought.
They might be closer than I originally thought. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with the Jays going that low, but so yeah, here's the Rays hitting, and it's kind of like the Tigers that we just looked at. There's not really any star power anywhere, but there's guys that are going to play every day. There's some flexibility, and he's got at bats kind of all over the place.
Some upside too, and
yeah, a little bit of upside. Maybe with Aranda, Kirk, I think still has maybe upside we haven't seen before.
What about
Ramos?
Like
yeah. Maybe Ramos, who I'm pretty sure he just recently traded for. I don't know if he had him when I did these, but
same thing with like Beatty
it's a well-rounded lineup. Yeah, a full good season out of Beatty, where he maybe doesn't have to worry about getting sent down again or where he's going to play and learn new positions defensively and shit. Like he still have faith in his bat. It's very much like a Tigers-esque lineup, just kind of solid top to bottom without a lot of super high end, which is why he doesn't move into that like 55, 60, 65 area, but it's just a very good, well above average lineup with a little bit of a bench going, like not a great bench, but enough to keep you covered for the most part, coupled with the flexibility of the other guys.
I'm thinking
pretty good
is what's going to stand out here.
I think the pitching's pretty good. Rasmussen, Schlitter, Mike Burrows, Gallen, Michael King, Lodolo, Ryan Nelson. Very good pitching. Not great relief pitching. Yeah, Jeff Springs, Pepio down here.
He's going to have no problem getting that set. No problem getting this. He's going to.
Yeah, that's why I put him in at 60-65 because the front. The front 5. I mean, shit. Yeah, Rasmussen, Schlitter, Lodolo, King, Pepio, and that's without going Gallen, Burrows. I could maybe see taking him to a 65-70, but I think it's the crappiness of the relief pitching that stops it from getting into that 70. But I did give him 60-65. So yeah, I love the pitching, and I think, geez, a minor bat upgrade. I mean, these guys are at 4, right? No, what do I have them at? 5? Is this 5? Yeah, 5. This is when it starts again, like kind of like the NL2. Like a lot of these teams are interchangeable once you get into the top 5.
Where is his bat upgrade needed?
Well, I mean, you can really it's because it's such a solid lineup. You can almost upgrade just about anywhere. Like none of these guys are so good at their spots that you can't find an upgrade for them. So he could upgrade just about anywhere.
The only reason I say this is I may know a team in the NL who resides in the NL Central who could use a starting pitcher and may have a bat to spare. I'm just
there is no NL Central.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
The wink and a nod. To Ian.
And we're both
Rays are a damn good team.
Both usually up at the same time, because I'm up in the middle.
Rays are a very good team. I could easily see them being better than top 5. In fact, I might change them with the team that comes right after them here.
Moving into the top half of the playoffs. Pretty soon we're going to be moving to the top half of the playoffs.
Yes, we are. it's too nice of a day out, man. My idiot Schnauzer, like people
Wants to.
are out walking all the time
yeah.
and shit because it's so nice out, and he just doesn't shut up. So yeah, let's move on to number 4. We have the Minnesota Twins.
Where did I?
Now I could see the Rays easily being better than the Twins. I just feel like the Twins, I think, from what I recall, were just a little bit more well-rounded.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Tell me.
You might move the Blue Jays ahead of them too.
Ooh.
I have the Twins at 45, 45, 45.
I'm gonna take a look real quick.
I don't think it was anything super exciting, but
no, he hasn't made any deals. So this is just
maybe it was just a different look.
I must really like the team. Yeah. So
yeah, let's take a look.
So yeah, hit 55, 60, 55.
And I had 45s across the board. So above
so I liked them better in
everything.
Every facet. Yeah, the lineup at first glance doesn't look all that great, but I just think that there's a lot of upside coupled with, it's not the kind of potential upside that we were looking at with the who the hell's lineup was it? Was it the Red Sox that had like Brady House and you know, like all of the, Cam Smith and like these really kind of unproven? I think the upside is a little more tangible for guys like Colson and Roman Anthony and Evan Carter and Dalen Lyle and Ben Rice. Like these guys have shown more than just flashes in the bigs. I think Colson wasn't
I'm not a huge Colson guy, and that's probably
only 255 at bats, but he hit 21 homers in those at bats, and he has no competition, I think, for his time, at least this year. No. He's got no competition in that lineup. So he's just going to mash in the middle of that lineup, maybe do it under the radar. But geez, 40 homers, I think is easily on the table based on the 255 at-bat sample we saw.
But they could all
no issue with playing time.
They could all be of the solo variety.
They could. And everybody loves Roman. Evan Carter cannot stay healthy, but I think for $10 especially, the upside is very, very high.
Oh, this is
Dalen Lyles.
This is Max Muncy the younger. Maybe that might have been one.
Yeah, this is the A's Max Muncy, and a lot of his value comes in that he plays 3 different positions. If you're still a Josh Young believer, and I don't know if there's a whole lot left that think can be this guy with the 3.3 points per game and not so much this guy, the mid twos. Otto Lopez, not a sexy name, but scores points. Yeah. Finds a way to do it. Ben Rice had a huge year last year and still only averaged 3.1. So it's like, okay, he hit 26 homers, but man, he strikes out a ton. But still, and you're playing him at first. The $30 is where, like, Ben Rice really hurts you. I think
if you've got like
a $30 player,
if you've got a $30 bat at first, it better be one of those high end first base.
It's like he's good, and yes, he also catches, but it doesn't matter for this particular team because he doesn't have anybody else to play first. So if you're sliding Ben Rice into the C spot because Narvaez has the day off, then you don't have a first baseman, at least not right now. So, I think it's a well-rounded lineup with a lot of upside. It's got a decent bench with some guys that can play all over the place.
Yeah.
So, what did I give? I give it a 55. Yeah, I think it's pretty well above average. The pitching, what did I give? Pitching a 60. So, I think to start, not going to have an issue hitting the 7.
Nope.
And the upside, I'm on the Emmett Sheehan wagon. I like him a lot. I think he has huge upside. I think Logan Henderson has big upside, and Cade Horton has big upside. So it's like 3 guys that, have shown it in flashes, have none of them have shown it over a full season or shown that they can handle a full season of major league innings. But Henderson, Horton, Sheehan, very high upside. Henderson, I know maybe doesn't have a rotation spot right now. I don't think it'll take him long to pitch his way into one. And then you have the rest of the guys rounding out and making it very easy for him to hit a 7. Anthony Kay, Davis Martin, Brad Lord, and Fedde. So 3 White Sox
I was going to say he's
pitchers,
going
and
to
then
be
the White
watching a
Sox
lot
closer.
of he's going to be watching a lot, and Colson Montgomery. He is.
I'd rather have 3 White Sox pitchers than 3 Rockies pitchers. I can say
I
that.
will 100%. Yeah. But he's going to be watching a lot of baseball on the South Side.
A lot of South Side, a lot of South Side White Sox baseball. You know, maybe I leaned into giving him a 60. Maybe I leaned into the upside a little too much, and how much I like, you know, and Seymour.
But those are really good. Did you
part of
mention
the upside?
Relievers? I like Sir Anthony. I like who is the other guy? Moran.
Yeah, and Tanner Scott will probably be in some sort of leverage role. If he's not getting saves, he's going to be getting holds.
So he's got 3 really solid relievers.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's well above average. Know, like I said, you going to hit 7, you're going to get a 40-45, and then if there's some upside to it, you're going to get bumped up, especially relative to everybody else. And I think the Horton, Sheehan, Henderson upside is pretty high.
I probably should move him to 50s across the board instead of 45s.
I can see it. Yeah, I think it's just more. It's a well-rounded team more than it is a superstar team. But those are the teams that kind of.
But that's higher. What's gonna, to some of these guys that may not see it just yet. These well-rounded teams are going to do a lot better than star.
We'll see that. That's what we think. Like, again, the only thing we have to go on is our experience in these leagues. But these leagues are also all very, they're all their own entities. Like doing these startup auctions. They're all 30 teams, slow auctions with the same budget, but none of them ever go the same. You never have the same 30 guys on the board. These, there's so much variability in a fantasy baseball season. We could be ass backwards on some of these, but you'll never know, because what you look at now, is there's very few teams in this league that are going to continue to not make any trades. There's some of these guys we've looked at. Oh no, this is the lineup as I looked at it a week ago because this guy hasn't made any trades. That's not going to continue for the whole season. Like, guys are either going to realize that they have a chance and do something to try to solidify their playoff spot and kick hard to the finish. Other guys are going to realize that they're out of it. They're going to suffer injuries. They're going to sell their good major league pieces for prospects or picks. And that's going to make somebody else richer now, So these things are going to change vastly from these preseason grades. But what fun is having a pod if you're not going to pick apart everybody's team after the auction and before the season starts? So.
I have a feeling I know who's at 1, but I'm very interested to see who your 2 and 3 are.
Again, it's at the end of the top 5, very interchangeable from one week to the next, probably. The number 1 team. So myself, I had as number 1 in the.
We won't say who the number. I won't say who the number 1 team.
I don't think that doesn't mean that I think I'm going to be the highest scoring team.
No.
in the National League every week. I guarantee you, I won't be.
Yep.
Probably more often than not. But again, this is just.
But here's the thing with
the well-rounded teams did better than the teams that could have the blow-up weeks. That's just how it is.
You don't have to be the highest scorer every week. If you're consistently top 3 to 8 in the league in scoring, where you're just that solidly above average, that's going to get the job done a lot of weeks. You're going to have a lot of 6 and 2 weeks and 5.
I think it's the same as like fantasy football. Is it takes skill to get to the playoffs and luck to win them. Sure. And especially in baseball, because the end of baseball seasons are just so weird. You don't know what real life teams' rotations and lineups are going to look like. Guys are getting cups of coffee. Pitchers are getting shut down either for the playoffs or because they're out of the playoffs and they want to rest these guys. Like, you just don't know what it's going to look like. And that's when having still some fab left behind can come in handy, to pick up these pop-up prospects or pop-up guys that are getting called up for maybe AA to make a spot start. And, all of a sudden you can either get a start for yourself or take one away from somebody else, that could really, so like that end of season, regular season play, especially like post trade deadline play, that's when like the manager savviness kind of starts to overtake like just the straight like luck of putting together a good lineup and having it all click in the same week and being able to put up a lot of points. It's looking a few weeks down the road and kind of playing the long game, but in the shortness of the end of the season, if that makes sense. Like
I do want to
tough,
say
man.
There's one other factor of being successful in the playoffs, and that is not having the first name of Chris. If your name is not Chris Marlins, that does help you succeed in the playoffs. Moving on to number 3.
Shots fired. Yeah, let's move on to number 3. And it's Frank. It's the Frank A's.
The Vagabonds.
Where has Frank been? Yeah, the Sacramento Vegas A's.
The hobo.
50 hitting, 60-65 pitching, and a 40-45 on the depth. So
hold on. You had 60. What'd you have for hitting? 6. Oh, see, we're flipped on the A's. He must have made it because I have the A's at. Well, wait a second. Wow, I have them way lower than. So I have the A's at 45 hitting. Okay, so we're close there. I have it 35 pitching.
Whoa.
And then 45 depth. So something must have happened with his pitching.
Maybe.
He must have.
Take a quick look.
It's Frank. I guarantee you Frank made a trade. I don't even have to look, and I know you don't have to look. Frank made a trade since then.
Where the hell is he? Okay, so he's made a couple, yeah. Not really very big ones. The main one that he made after I did the rankings was he got rid of Shota. So that might be part of the reason I gave the pitching 60-65. So you picture the pitching as it is now, but with Shota.
That makes a big difference.
But still, I think I still must have just liked it more than you generally. So the lineup, he didn't have Chourio when I did that. That was part of the Shota deal. So I don't remember who he had at right field, but picture the lineup
that's
without Chourio.
That's a big piece right there. I mean, triple.
Well, yeah, that's probably his biggest bat. So
yeah,
I don't remember who was there, but it was not somebody even close to Chorio's caliber. No. And you look at that lineup without Chourio, and that's why I gave it a 50. And it gets the 50 because, again, it's got guys in there every position that are probably going to play more days than not. It is weird to have a catcher at left field. That's weird, but he's a pretty good bat. Willie Castro at center, like I could maybe see knocking this down to a 45 actually, just on its face, because it is above average. Again, he's got at bats everywhere, and there's a lot of flexibility here too. A lot of these guys play multiple spots. You can shuffle them around all over the place. But until he added Chourio, which he hadn't at the time, there was really no high-end talent. So I don't know why I gave it a 50. It's maybe closer to a 45.
Even with the Chourio, because I had him at 45.
Yeah, because it's
they're
I don't know.
They're
it's not that
a
great.
little bit above guys. They're not like solid guys, but they're a little above being guys. If that makes you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's not that great. It's not that great. Yeah, knock it down to a 45 easily.
Yeah. Now I got a question.
Yeah.
Who's better, the A's or the Blue Jays? The age-old question.
Well, I think maybe the Rays. I think maybe the Rays could be bumped up over the A's for sure. But this pitching is good.
Yes.
Flaherty, Nola,
Ed
Cabrera, Sonny Gray, Woodruff,
Josiah,
and the complete coin flip like wild cards of Grayson and Josiah Gray, and so he's got no issue hitting 7 starts, and there is high end upside with Nola, Captain Jack, Cabrera, and Woodruff when he does decide that he's going to pitch or whatever. When the Brewers decide that he's going to pitch,
and like Josiah is their prize young guy now after trading away Gore.
He's not even that young. He's 28, and he's coming off. TA, so.
Yeah, but like the Nationals have nothing in that. I think do you know who?
He's pitching.
Let me ask you this: do you know who the current Nationals opening day starter is?
It's Miles Mikolas.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's there.
Well, and Frank has two of the guys. So right now, Ross Resource has Foster Griffin in that rotation, and of course Josiah Gray. So the relief pitching not that great for Frank. He's got some sparps, but Hancock has been awful in the big leagues. Brant Herter's just a guy. But there's at least 7 starts, and there's upside to the 7 starts. So that's why he gets 60-65.
I should have moved him higher on pitching.
I say knock the lineup down, and the pitching maybe is more like the 60.
I think I flipped those two. It should have been 45 pitching and 35 hitting on my. And I think
is okay. His bench guys are kind of bums, but they play all over the place, and so do a lot of his regular lineup guys. And he's got plenty of SP depth, so
I think I feel okay about depth at 45 because the 7 starts, and it probably should be higher just because of the solidness of getting it. Not
even if somebody goes down, he's probably still getting it.
Yeah, he's going to get it.
Number 2, Astros.
Okay.
Astros 45-50 hitting 65-70 on the pitching, and then the depth an issue, but I think
this is the one that so I have 40 pitching, 40 hitting.
Whoa.
And 30
pitching. Depth. We're so far off on the pitching.
Trades?
I'm gonna have to look because our pitching grades are so far apart. Oh yeah, he did. He made a couple of significant trades.
Okay.
After I did the rankings, he traded away Jose Altuve, but got Bubba Chandler.
Okay.
And he traded away Tatis and Robbie Ray and got Caminero and Matt Wallner.
So it upgraded that pitching took a hit.
Yeah, I would say so.
And the hitting improved.
Yeah, I mean the pitching takes a bit of a hit because it depends on how much you like, or believe in Bubba, and it's like even if you're a huge fan of him, he's not going to throw 180 innings this year. So, and Robbie Ray probably will, or at least in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So here's the lineup. Again, this is not the lineup that I gave a 45-50. So this is kind of his new lineup that includes Caminero. It's not very. I mean, I don't think it's a lot better. I gave it a 45-50, but that might be being generous. Yeah, that was with Tatis instead of Matt Wallner. I don't remember who was playing third instead of Caminero, but it's very top heavy with Caminero, Harper. The rest of it is pretty bad. He's got 2 real life Cardinal catchers, but neither one of them are the starter. And then Spencer Horwitz at the UT spot. Victor Scott is fine in center. He derives all of his value from running.
Yes. And he's a pretty good glove, I was going to say. And he's
a very good glove.
And he's triple, right?
Yeah.
He's got all 3. Yeah.
So, and I think I'm not a Javi Baez guy. I don't think anybody's a Javi Baez guy. And I'm not a Ramon Urias guy. And that's the guy that the Cardinals just signed, should not be playing every day at second base on your team.
Without even looking now at his pitching yet. If you want to flip over to the hitting, we talked about it, but could the Blue Jays be better than this team?
Could be, sure, but I think I'd be more apt to move again the Rays ahead of them in the rankings.
I'm just saying the Blue Jays just because I said by the end of the podcast you'll have them 3 or 4.
But the pitching, this pitching is still very, very good. So you've got McLean, Scoobs, Bubba Chandler, DeGrom, Roki, and Yasavage, who I think weirdly has not thrown at all this spring. Yeah, they're doing something weird with his buildup, but that's a very, very good front. 5? I mean, I don't know what the deal with Roki is going to be. I still have faith.
Can you flip that screen?
Flip it.
You got that.
Oh, geez, I've just been. Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
flip it. Yeah, I probably should, huh? Look at this pitching. Without me just reading it off again, it looks really good. Nolan McLean,
Yeah.
Skubal, Bubba Chandler, DeGrom, Roki, Anya Savage, and that's not mentioning Scherzer, the eventually returning Hayden Wesneski, or pretty good relievers. If Hader comes back, I quite like Ashby still.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and maybe Roki ends up being a reliever instead of a starter, but I think $18 Roki could end up being a pretty good buy. I guess it remains to be seen, but it's pretty high end pitching. Man, that lineup though, I don't know that this is the number 2. I don't know this is number 2 team lineup. Yeah, I somehow that lineup getting rid of Altuve and Tatis. That's who was at second. Instead of Ramon Urias. You went from Altuve to Ramon Urias, and you went from Tatis to Matt Wallner.
Tatis isn't short anymore, is he?
No, he traded him.
No, Tatis is
short. No, he's right field. Yeah, right field.
He's right field only. That's what I was going to say. Was it Baez or?
Yeah, and if you want to talk more long, that's not a keepable Caminero. That's $44 next year. He needs to hit 60 home. He needs to be Aaron Judge to be keepable at $44. So, that lineup looks considerably worse. I still really like the pitching, but I think maybe you could move the Rays. Probably not the A's.
What about the Blue Jays?
I don't feel good about my A's looking at them again. The Jays, man, yeah. I don't know if I'm not going to put the Jays in the top 3. I don't think he's top 3.
What about 4?
But
I said 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. The Astros I have at 2, but man, I put the Rays. Yeah, maybe put the I don't know.
This is our number 1 team. 2. We don't have any other teams after this, right?
Well, this is number 2. The Astros are number 2. Yeah,
I thought this is our. I don't see any other teams on my.
You're just being a clown right now. because number 1 I do have as the New York Yankees. And again, no 60s here, no 70s, but 50-55, 50-55, and 55. The depth and the well-roundedness. Yeah.
I had
for me, you see how I do my rankings. That's what wins for me.
I had 55 hitting, 60 pitching, 60 depth.
And has he? I don't think.
No, he hasn't.
I don't think B-Dog has made a trade. No, he did. He made one on March 2nd. He made one 2 days ago, where he brought in Max Fried. So yeah, his pitching will look considerably better now than it did without Max Fried. So, but he also traded away Mookie. So it's kind of a take from one and give to the other. But yeah,
I'm going to guess he had enough hitting depth to sustain that.
Well, yeah, he had great depth. I'm actually going to flip the screen this time. So yeah, this is not. There's nothing to be gained here by me sucking up to Brendan. No. I think he's got the most. And again, kind of like my own in the net. Do I think Brendan's going to be the high scorer in the AL every week? Nope. No, I don't. But I do think he has the best, most well-rounded team. Not devoid of star talent. Manny Machado, Matt Olson, couple of huge bats. Ian Happ quietly, very, very good. But just good, well-rounded points and at-bats at every single spot with some flexibility. He's maybe a little light in the flexibility. Gleyber, Manny, Olson,
he doesn't
Crawford,
have a first baseman.
Happ.
He has a backup. Sorry,
right, yeah, backup. No, yeah, doesn't have a backup.
Yes,
but he's got other guys that will play. The outfield will be fine, and he's leaning a lot on Edmundo Sosa. So the hitting depth is not great. It's not great, but it does exist. $1 George Valera could end up as a really, really good buy. I think people are sleeping on George Valera because he was hurt all the time. The prospect shine's worn off. He's still only 25 and should be hitting every day in that lineup. The pitching. So keep in mind, before I did this, there was no Max Fried, but right now, Max Fried, Yuri, Giolito is going to sign somewhere. Boy, this pitching actually.
I
Yeah.
like Kikuchi.
Yeah, Kikuchi's okay, and I think it was the relievers, the high end relief pitching. Beater is the roster resource closer in Washington. We know Palencia is the closer, and Iglesias is either the 1 or 1A in Atlanta. And Garcia, I don't know what the closer situation is in Texas. I don't even think they know yet.
Or saves.
Yeah. So the relief pitching kind of buoys Fried, Yuri, Kikuchi, Peterson. Soriano is very good, and Giolito is going to sign with the Braves or the Reds. You know,
I was going to say the Reds. Like, who are the Reds going to go after now?
But he's going to sign somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't think getting 7. I don't know if it's a guarantee for him right now, but it shouldn't be much issue.
How many innings does Simeon been pitching?
You know, he made so last year he made 22 starts. The year before that he made 28. The Twins rotation has already lost Pablo, so yeah, maybe for $6 especially.
Yeah,
maybe he ends up being pretty good. And Soriano, should probably be the opening day starter for the Angels unless he's like actually hurt. He's illness. So yeah, it's good. 50-55. So yeah, if you wanted to take the lower end, I rated the Yankees 50-50-55. And again, not going to be the high scoring team every week or anything, but I think is well-rounded enough and deep enough. And I know Brendan, he's not going to sit on his hands if he sees an opportunity to improve somewhere or feels like he needs to. He's not afraid to trade specs. He's not afraid to trade picks. He's not somebody that gets attached to his guys. I have an issue with that. I drafted this guy 2 years ago. I really want to see he's near the bigs. I don't want to deal him now. I get too attached to my guys. Brendan does not, because Brendan is an unfeeling. He has no moral compass. He has no feelings. I don't know, I'm going to call him a sociopath because I think he does feel emotion. But
that's going to change here because he is a new dad.
He's a new dad. I think he cares about those close to him, but he's a hatchet. Oh, the hell happened?
It was just an internet glitch. That's all.
Yeah, but he's a hatchet kind of guy. If somebody's not cutting it at work, if somebody's not cutting it in fantasy, you're out of here, and he'll find somebody that does. I've seen him do it time and time again. So yeah, I have faith in the owner. I have faith in the team, and that's number one. And again, just like the NL, a lot of these are interchangeable. I think I don't think it'd be crazy to think that any of these guys in the top 5 or 6 could be number one.
Now, something that now that we've done all 30 teams, and I think something that we can agree on is both of us prefer your graph to just be solid, like across the board. We're like, these teams that have this high variance up, down, like you have the Angels and the Reds, where there's high variance. Like these teams could argue, like, hey, that should have been higher or whatever. Like, but we prefer the steady Eddie as opposed to, you could have some really good weeks, but you could also have some really bad weeks. Like to get into that elite tier, you need the steady Eddiness.
Yeah,
for our rankings.
Yeah, it's not a 12-team league. In a 12-team league, having superstars, take up half of your roster, that works.
Yes.
But this is 30 teams. This is daily lineups, and I've yet to really see stars and scrubs perform the way that the guy hopes it will. Like it tends to peter out over the course of a long, long baseball season. But if it doesn't, and that'll be the first time, it will be a league-winning team. The Reds, even. The Angels potentially, like if he picks up a pitcher or whatever, and that lineup just perform that could be a league-winning lineup with just the right amount of pitching. So it doesn't happen often. It's not the way I like to play, but I also spend a lot of years kind of treading water in mediocrity in these leagues too. I'll spend a lot of years just missing the playoffs or making the playoffs and getting bounced in the first round, because I don't have that high end talent that you need to go up against those teams that do, So I'm not saying I have it all figured out.
No.
If I had, I would have won one of these by now,
Yeah.
So
one thing though, you touched on the playoffs, and I hope everyone does know this, but as we both know, there are some people in this league who still have probably yet to read the rules. The playoffs are not head-to-head matchups, just so everyone is aware. It is roto style. Everyone glob. Okay, there. Everyone's in a glob, okay? All 8 teams. It's guillotine style. We eliminate the bottom 2 or something like that. Like every week, we just start eliminating teams. It's not based off of your luck.
It's more like best ball, best ball than roto
there
so much. Yeah,
there you go. Sorry, best ball. That's a better word.
But so, it does kind of take the variance. It helps chop some of that variance off of. Well, I just happened to be playing this guy the wrong week, so now my season's over.
Yeah,
it's an interesting wrinkle for sure. None of the other leagues that I've played in do it that way.
I've never seen. And that's something where Stars and Scrubs could pay off, or it could crash and burn.
Yeah, just like any other part of the season for a team like that, you're just always walking on a razor blade. And man, for some people, like Gary, the action is the juice. Gary loves so that's what you want. And it's thrilling and interesting every week.
Hey, we did this in $1:45. We shaved off 15 minutes.
Getting better. So thanks for watching. I think we had like 4 or so guys most of the time.
Yeah, we're up to 8 now.
Hey, fuck it.
Do you see that on top?
Watch it in chunks. Watch it in chunks if you don't want to.
I do know, and I don't know if that's because of the message. And I wish he would have put this in the chat, but he put it in the chat of the stream. But John said something about my son and his penis and whatever. I don't know what it was. What did he say? The thing he took, here it is, because I saw it on my watch. The thing I took away from it based on conversation, my own research, is that podcast was a week late because Tony has identified parts of his son's penis that he feels is unnecessary and is hiring an expert to chop them off.
It's a long-winded way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say. Landon said, I started to celebrate being number 2, but then y'all didn't have anything nice to say about me. Good job, guys. Yeah. We all know being number 2 behind Brender is really number 1. That's true. Because
I feel like the Astros. I don't feel like that one trade should have made as much difference to me as it did, but. Again, I love the pitching, but that lineup is in a little more trouble than initially I had it down for. I think replacing Tatis and Altuve with Caminero hurts the lineup more than adding Chandler helps the pitching.
Yeah.
Because the pitching was already good. Even without Chandler, it's still McClain, Skubal, DeGrom, Roki, Yasavage. If you want to toss Scherzer into that, the pitching still looks really, really good, like relative to the rest of the league. You add Bubba in there, and it's almost like a little overkill because it costs you Tatis, Tatis and Altuve, and that they weren't part of the same deal. But
no.
I liked the lineup a lot better when it had Tatis and Altuve in it than I do with Caminero and Matt Wallner. So.
Gary was our solid listener. He watched and listened to the whole thing live. He said, even though
his team went early, he's still tuned in. So Gary's the man. Yeah, Gary's the man.
Thank you, appreciate it. So we're gonna try to do these. We're gonna try to do these weekly, and it's probably gonna be about this time on Wednesdays. Just for everyone to know. Once the season gets rolling on, we're not going to start doing them weekly now. Like there's no reason really to.
No,
I don't think we're going to do much between now and the season, just because there's so much that can change between now and the season, just in a day's worth of trades and news and stuff like that. I think now we might focus on doing, if anyone wants to get on and do an owner podcast. That's about it. Is there anything you want to cover?
No, we're good.
All right.
Let's knock this out in less than 2 hours.
There you go. Under $1.50, because I'm going to hit end stream here in a few seconds. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for coming
the
on.
next one.